We got Matt McCormick on the fundamentals, Bill Maloney talking charts, and Alex Bernal with the options trade. So let me start with you, Matt McCormick, joining us from Cincinnati, Ohio. What's your take on Berkshire Hathaway?
Let's give Warren Buffett his deserved props. He is a great investor, one of the best of all time. However, from a strictly fundamental standpoint, we don't recommend owning it at this time. You look at the fact that it's mainly a financial stock, and financials are certainly volatile. You look at the fact that he's underperformed 2 out of the last 3 calendar years. He's roughly 1,500 basis points behind the S&P year to date for the last 3 years. He is also 81 years old. His bench, Charlie Munger, is 88 years old. And I think when you look at opportunities that, whether it be in financials or other stocks, particularly high-quality dividend-paying stocks, you can look elsewhere. The stock may be doing great, but I think fundamentally for the longer term, there's other opportunities out.
Hey, I'm glad you mentioned financials because, Matt, 27% of his holdings are financials. Does that concern you?
Sure. As a bank analyst, I think when you look at the market, even though today it's up, there's a lot of unanswered questions, particularly with the financials. When you talk about some of his exposure to Abbott or Procter, those are great names, particularly on the dividend growth side. I'd rather buy those directly than buy a financial mutual fund with some high-quality dividend growth stocks. Again, he's a great manager. He's a great stock picker. I think there's other opportunities, particularly high-quality dividend-paying stocks.
Bill Maloney on the charts. What do you make of Berkshire's chart?
The charts are actually still quite positive with Berkshire Hathaway. It's been an uptrend since September of 2011. It's trading above its major moving averages, so that's a positive. You really don't have any resistance. The first resistance level you want to look at is around 87.65. That's resistance dating back to February of 2011. And if it gets above that, it doesn't have any resistance till 94, which is resistance dating back to October of 2008. So the charts are still positive on the stock.
Hey, you know what's curious, and Matt pointed this out to us earlier, on a total return basis, it has lagged the financials as a whole as well as the S&P 500. As a chartist, Bill Maloney, what does that tell you?
Even though it is lagging and is a financials have done terrible, but it's still in an uptrend, and as long as it stays around basically about 79 or 80, according to the charts, you have to be positive on the stock.
All right, you see a possible breakout above 85?
Above 94 would be the level you want to watch.
All right, so obviously we're not there yet. Hey, Alex Bernal out in Chicago on the options trade. Is there a play here?
Yeah, I actually agree with the charts on this one. I'm actually quite bullish on the stock going forward. It's actually a pretty simple trade I'm going to talk about. Basically, I was looking to get long, and I normally do that by selling put spreads, but I wasn't going to be able to get a lot of premium out of the strikes I was looking at. So what actually I'm going to do is I'm actually going to buy the in-the-money September 82.5 calls. I'm going to do this for about $3.70. You know, basically, I think that the chart in the medium term can have a lot more upside. So by choosing the in-the-money calls, the stock could pull back, and I'm still long. You know, still allows me to be long the stock. And if the stock, you know, goes up from here, I instantly starting to make money. So if I buy out of the money, I have to wait till it gets up there to make money. Right now, if the stock keeps going, I make money right with these deep in the money calls.
Alex Bernal, I noticed the implied volatility on this stock, or on the options, I should say, 15. That's about as low as it gets. Can you think of any other stocks with vol that low?
Not really off the top of my head, especially with the big rip-roar day like today. There's a lot of confusion going on, but, you know, implied volatility in Berkshire Hathaway is definitely implying that there's not a lot of juice to sell in the put side of the trade.
Hey, Matt McCormick, you've just heard two guys who are more bullish than you. One's an options trader and one's a chart technician. Is there anything on the fundamentals that gets you excited?
I like his underlying holdings. You know, I think it's something from a valuation standpoint. He's right at a market multiple. I think a lot of the stocks he has are high quality, and he is a great long-term investor. Bill and Alex are smart guys. They're a little bit more shorter-term focused than we are, and we think longer-term. I have a distinct visceral issue with betting on an 81-year-old CEO whose successor is 88 years old with no bench.
Hey, understood. And one final question, Matt, I want to ask you. Kind of curious that Warren Buffett invests in a lot of companies that pay big dividends, and yet Berkshire itself doesn't pay a dividend. Why not?
I don't know. I wish Buffett did. It would make us take another look at the stock. I think dividends are one of the few areas that we have a high degree of comfort in this very volatile market environment. We wish he did. People want to get paid to own them, and I think he would attract new investors if he did.
All right, so here you go, the cheat sheet on Berkshire Hathaway. The earnings will be coming out about 5 o'clock today. We got 2 bulls and a bear today. Matt McCormick says don't buy. There are plenty of other stocks that he prefers. And then the two bulls, Bill Maloney says shares have been on an uptrend since 2009. Alex Bernal, meanwhile, is buying the in-the-money calls, betting the stock will rise. Again, the options, or I should say the earnings come out, Alex, at 5 o'clock.